is it doesn't limit you to a geographic location. And it's also great for speakers because everyone else, the speaker has to physically be there. In my club, we had speakers in Australia. They're not going to fly to Dallas to speak for 20 minutes for free at a Rotary Club. It's just not likely to happen. Okay, well, everyone, thank you for coming. I will get it started. First, we'll do I guess I'll do the invocation. I'll do the one I do every morning. Thank God I'm alive. That's it. When you hit 73, it's a great morning prayer. Look, I'm still here. Thank God I'm still here. So that'll be our prayer for today. Something simple. We'll do our pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so I got rid of the pledge and the affirmation. Get that out of the way. Does anyone have business they need to discuss? I don't think so, but if you do, let me know. Maria, is there any business you need to discuss? Or Val, is there any business you need to bring up? Okay, I'm not hearing anything. Well, that's good. I don't have any either. So I will. I'm the speaker tonight. Our speaker that was originally coming canceled. Oh, we got another person. That might be Linda. Okay. Oh, hold on one second. It's my daughter. I'm just gonna let her know. I'll call you in an hour. I'm on a Rotary meeting. I'm running the meeting, so I will call you in an hour. Okay. Bye. Okay. Who's on the phone?
This is Linda.
Oh, good. Okay, you made it. Okay. Well.
Hold it about 10 minutes
Okay. Well.
or 15.
Okay. I'm gonna get started on the program. It's gonna be because we don't have a lot of business to discuss, so I thought I'd go right into it. I was, many of you probably are aware, I know I've spoken to a few of you, there's a lot going on in artificial intelligence. And one of the things that recently came out was GPT, which is going to change the way the whole world works. It's the first version. It's extremely powerful. A lot of people are using it, but they don't realize the full potential of what it'll do. They know that it writes things, it tells stories, things like that, but it's much, much more. So I'm going to take some time tonight and show you some of the features, starting with stuff you may know and building from there so that you're learning new things that you may not have seen before and opportunities to use it. This is absolutely essential, Maria, for education. Anyone in education is going to want to know about this. Anyone in business is going to want to know about this. And it's also something I read somewhere that they think within 2 years it may take over Google. You know how many years Google has been like this unassailable giant search engine, and everyone was like, no one will ever replace Google. Well, there are many people saying right now Chat GP will possibly take over Google and make it obsolete. It's that powerful. So with that in mind, I'm going to go to my share screen. I'll go to screen one. Okay. I'm going to go into Chat GPT. So you can go to, I will put in the web address into our, let me see if I can get into the chat box when this is going on. There it is. There's the chat box. I'm just putting in the web address where I just went. Here's the best news. This is something you'll like. This is free. This program is free. That's a good price. So everyone can afford this. There's no cost. So what are some of the things that Chat GGP can do? Well, one thing it can do is write, let's say I'm a student and I want to do a book report on A Tale of Two Cities. So I'm going down here and I'm going to say, write a report on the book A Tale
Hey,
of...
Howard, we're seeing your screensaver.
Oh, okay. Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah.
Oh, that does make a difference.
You
Yeah.
see different screen.
Okay, let me get out of here. Let me thank you, because that would kind of kill the. So I got a funny story on that. I'll go back. A friend of mine was a chiropractor, and he was lecturing in North Carolina. He's from New York, like me, so he's talking like I'm talking in North Carolina, where people talk like this. So he's doing this program for 3 days. He's teaching them advanced chiropractic skills. And at the end of the 3 days, he says, "Well, how did I do?" And they said, "Well, we got to be honest, no one knew what you were saying because you talk so fast." So this is a real story. So he looked at it and said, "Well, why didn't anyone tell me to slow down?" And he said, "Well, that would be rude."
Actually, I don't know if I can comment while you put in the screen. I believe it's not the first version. It's actually third, and there is a fourth coming. So it's not the first version. The first one was pretty basic. It wouldn't do much difference.
Oh, okay.
That's what I learned. Because I practice this with, I'm working with some engineers right now to launch something in education with ChatGPT, as I mentioned. So you also learn it. And I'm very excited to hear what you have done, because there are a lot of different angles how you
Oh.
can use it.
Sounds good. Quick question. Can you see my screen now? Does it show?
Yeah.
Perfect. Excellent. Okay. So this new program, Chat GDP, welcome, Robin. This new program can do amazing things. This is something you may already know. It'll write a report. So let's imagine I'm a student. I'm going to say, write a report on a book, A Tale of Two Cities. Include character descriptions, plot, theme, and a close at the high school level. Okay? And I press enter. And watch what happens. So now it's writing the entire book report in 3 seconds from scratch without the book. I didn't even give it the book. I just told it to write a report. So, A Tale of Two Cities is a historical novel written by Charles Dickens that takes place in London and Paris before and during the French Revolution. The novel explores themes of love, sacrifice, redemption, social injustice, as well as the destructive power of revenge. Characters: Sidney Carlton, Charles Darnay, Lucy Manette, Dr. Alexander Manette, and it's giving you the description of every character. Here's the plot, and it's going through each of the aspects of the plot, one step at a time. It's telling you the theme. I'm just going to let it go, and there's the close. Okay, so now I'm going to just put something in here, and what I'm going to say, just watch for a second. Write this report at the 3rd grade level. So now I'm in 3rd grade writing the same report. And I'm going to have it redo the whole report at the 3rd grade level. Okay, instead of the high school level. A Tale of Two Cities is a book that takes us back in time to a place called London and Paris. It's a story about love, hope, and helping others. Sidney Carlton, a man who feels and drinks too much. He becomes happy by helping others. And now it's writing the report as if I was in 3rd grade. So if I'm in a high school class, I'm not going to want to write it at the 3rd grade level. But if I'm a 3rd grade student and I'm writing it at the high school level, well, someone's going to notice, hey, you're in 3rd grade. This seems a little advanced for someone in 3rd grade. So now it's going to the close. Now watch what else I can do. I'm just touching the surface here where it gets much more interesting. I can also say write this at, yes.
Are they waiting for people to be admitted?
I admitted them.
Oh, okay.
I hear that bell. I hear that bell when it rings. I look and I do let.
Sorry to interrupt you. I know I was rude.
No. You're always rude, but when you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So watch what I do now. Write the report using humor. Using humor. Okay, now it's going to write it again. This time using humor. Tale of Two Cities, not just for time travelers. A Tale of Two Cities is not just a history lesson. It's a time-traveling adventure. You go back in time to a place called London and Paris and meet some characters that'll make you laugh and cry. And so, okay, Sidney Carlton, a man who's so good-looking, like Charles Denay, he could pass for his stunt double. He's really good at drinking, but even better at finding redemption. Charles Denay, a man so fancy, he probably wears a monocle and a top hat. You want to mute yourselves. And he leaves his fancy life in France behind to start a new life. So now it's going humorous. Now watch what I'm going to do now. Write this report like Edgar Allan Poe. You can take a writer, a style of writing. And there's all kinds of Asimov, Edgar Allan Poe. Think of an author that you like. And now it's going to write the new report using Edgar Allan Poe's writing style. So once upon... Yes, I'm trying to show you what most people say, write a report. You can do a lot more than that. You can do a lot more. Once upon a midnight dreary, I delved into the pages of Charles Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities, published in the year of our Lord, 1859. When in its covers I discovered a world, both beautiful and grim, a world of love and revenge, of hope and despair. Now it's writing like Edgar Allan Poe. Okay, look at what we did. So we started with a report that was a high school report. Then we wrote it like we were in third grade. Then we wrote it with humor. Then we wrote it like Edgar Allan Poe. And there's no limit to the changes that you can ask this to do, and it'll do it. You can change the style. You could change. Now here's another thing that's very good for students. Write the Cliff Notes. Is it CLIFF? Cliff Notes for one F or two Fs? For a tale of... Oh, okay. Let's see what it does. So I'm asking for the Cliff Notes. And now it's creating customized Cliff Notes. So, you know, when a student says, I should have read the book last week and the report's due tomorrow, I got to get this report done tonight. I need the Cliff Notes to get this done. Look what it's doing. It's literally creating customized Cliff Notes for somebody who hasn't read the book and the report's due. And they absolutely got to write the report tonight, and they can't read the book and write the report. So now they have the Cliff Notes customized that they can use as an outline for writing the report. I mean, think about what that could do for a student. Now we're going to do something else for a student. Create a quiz on the book, A Tale of Two Cities. Include multiple choice and fill-in questions. So, if a student wants to make a quiz on any subject they're learning in high school, in college, any grade, it will make a practice exam. It'll make a practice exam, and it will grade it. And it will grade the exam. So if you've got a youngster and they've got to take a science test or a French or Spanish exam or math, any subject that they're studying and they need to have a practice test that they can see if they learn the material, this will create not one quiz. You could say make another quiz, another quiz, another quiz. You can make 100 quizzes to practice taking the test on the subject you're going to have in school. So you can see this is a big game changer for anybody who's a student. It'll make tests, it'll make quizzes, it'll write reports, it'll rewrite the reports in any style and any author's style. You could give it the name of a writer, say Mark Twain, Charles Dickens, who wrote the book, but you could give it a Edgar Allan Poe, Isaac Asimov, anyone you can think of, and it will rewrite the report using that style. Here's something else I can do. So I'm now going outside of school. So I have a blog. My blog is on speed learning. Give me 10 topics on speed learning I can write an article about. I press enter. Here's 10 topics I can write an article for my blog. You're writing a blog. You don't know what to write today. So look what it's doing. It's listing the 10 possible topics that I can write about. Now I'm going to go another step when this is done. So here's one I like. Effective study habits for speed learning. How to study smarter, not harder. Write a 200-word blog on, and then I'm going to put in the topic, which is on effective study habits for speed learning. And now it's writing the blog for me from scratch, the whole entire blog. So those of you who have websites and you need to put a blog on it, you're looking for ideas, you're looking for copy. This is original material. This is not plagiarized. It's writing a new article for you that no one has written before. So this is brand new copy. And you can use this on your website for marketing and other purposes. Okay, I'm just going to read a little of it. In today's fast-paced world, students often struggle to keep up with the demands of their coursework. However, learning doesn't have to be an uphill battle. By adopting effective study habits, students can optimize their learning process and absorb information more quickly and efficiently. In this blog, we'll explore some top strategies for studying smarter, not harder. Look how logical it is, how clear it is. And then it's giving you 5 things you can do to study and learn. So any of you that have blogs and you're sometimes struggling to find what to write or have it written for you and you don't want to have to pay someone, this will do it for free. And you can change this. You could say, write this in the style of, and then you can name an author or a writer whose writing style you like and have it write in that style. You could ask it to add humor. Okay, so you're getting a better idea. What I'm going to do now, okay, write the copy of the landing page for, I'm going to say, MrReader.com, owned by Howard Stephen Berg Learning Systems, LLC. Howard Berg is the world's fastest reader. Include information about speed reading, memory, and learning. This is the landing page for my new website. Welcome to MrReader.com, the premier destination for learning, memory, and speed reading. Our founder, Howard Berg, is recognized by the Guinness World Records as the world's fastest reader, and now you can learn from him and his team of experts. At MrReader.com, we offer comprehensive courses on memory improvement, accelerated learning, and most importantly, speed reading. And what it's writing is the entire landing page for a brand new website from scratch. Now I'm going to go another level. Write the privacy statement for Mr. Reader owned by Howard, Stephen, because it's a legal document, I need to give it this information. Learning Systems, LLC. Every website needs a privacy statement, and it's a legal document. So do you know how to create a legal document, or do you need to pay someone? What it's doing right now is creating an entire legal document on the privacy statement. So it's compliant. This is very important. So it's compliant with all the laws and rules and regulations on privacy. And look what it's doing. It's writing the entire copy for my privacy statement from scratch. All I gave it was one sentence. And look what it's created. I'll read it a little bit, just so, because you don't want to read the whole thing. But just to give you an idea of what it's doing. At MrReader.com, we're committed to protecting your privacy and maintaining the security of your personal information. This privacy statement explains how we collect, use, and protect your data. By using our services, you consent to the collection and use of your personal information as described in this statement. What information do we collect? How do we use your information? How do we protect your information? Do we share your information with third parties? How can you access or update your information? Changes to the statement. It's doing it all from scratch. You could do your privacy statement. You could put in your terms of service, right? A terms of service statement for MrReader.com, owned by Howard Stephen Berg Learning Systems, LLC. That's all I'm asking. And you need a terms of service statement. Any website you create, this is legal. You need this. It's not an option. And how many of you know how to write legal copy well enough to do it correctly? It's doing it all from scratch. Everything that needs to be there. Then you can copy and paste this onto your terms of your service, your terms of service. You can have it, and it should be in the footnotes. So every page of your website has that, and your privacy statement, so you're compliant. Because if you're missing this, you'll find many of the websites won't allow you to run your website on their site. You'll find many of the merchant accounts will insist upon these things appearing on your website. And again, for most of us, we're not knowledgeable enough about all the things that need to be discussed. And I'm just going to show you I'm not going to read it, I'm just going to show you the topics. Use of services, accounts and billing, intellectual property, limit of liability, termination, governing law and dispute resolution.
Seems like lawyers will lose jobs.
Yes, and marketing people. It's writing.
Expensive in the US. Probably they should.
It's going to make a lot of things lawyers are doing are going to be done now by this program. Now, it doesn't mean you never need a lawyer. It's not going to go to court. It's not going to defend you in court. But a privacy statement. I'll give you one more that's very important. Create, I'm trying to think of the name of it. A non-disclosure. This is important in business. Agreement between Howard Stephen Berg Learning Systems, LLC, and their client. Okay. So this is a non-disclosure agreement. And now it's creating an entire non-disclosure agreement from scratch. Look how much information I gave it. Nothing. And this is a legal non-disclosure agreement, so you can now share information with a prospect or client without having them steal it from you. So imagine all of these things being done at no cost. At no cost. This is all free. This whole program is free. Everything you're seeing is free. So this is really quite an...
so it's not completely free. I would, yeah, on the first stage free, but many times when you requisite, you're, at least my experience, you start because of a lot of requests coming from
Okay.
millions of people right now, right?
Yes.
So they have a $20 subscription version for
Okay.
those. Then you would have a preference because some days you
Yes.
can't log in; they are just
Yes, yes, that's true. But it's free. I didn't pay for this, and I probably would offer $20 for this easily for what it's doing. It's worth $20 to me a month to not have to worry about this. I'm just warming up. Wait, I'm gonna move on from this. So I showed you some business applications, writing web copy, writing agreements. I've shown you could do non-disclosure. Look how much it's writing. This is all a non-disclosure agreement.
so. Let's ask challenging question: when Ukraine wins the war with Russia,
Okay, that's a good question. It won't know. And that's something I want you to be aware of. It doesn't have knowledge of things after 2020. So it doesn't know anything about Ukraine and the war. Nothing. If you ask it the weather, it won't know. If you ask it who won the Super Bowl last week, it won't know. So it doesn't have.
then you can ask if Trump was supported by Russian Putin, right? Would it answer that?
I don't. What was asked it was President
Let me challenge,
Trump
right? Let's see how
supported
it is that.
by Putin. See what it says. I don't know what it'll say. Okay, there's no definitive evidence that Putin actively supported Trump's 2016 campaign in a coordinated effort. So there's no supported. There's no evidence.
That's true. No, no evidence. Very,
Right.
very smart.
Okay,
No
but
evidence.
others argue his policies towards Russia were consistent with long-standing policies, not a result of any personal ties to Putin. Okay, ultimately, the extent to which Putin supported his candidacy and influenced his policies remains a matter of speculation and is likely to continue to be a subject of political debate. So it's giving you a fair answer. It's not saying no. It's saying at this time the evidence isn't there.
Yeah, thank you. That was cool.
Yeah, so I like that. Okay, now I'm going to show you things you could do for it at home. Okay, give me 10 recipes for cooking chicken. Here are 10 different chicken recipes. Okay, lemon garlic roasted chicken, chicken fajitas, chicken Alfredo. Okay, chicken Caesar salad, chicken and broccoli stir fry, barbecue chicken pizza, chicken enchiladas, grilled chicken kebabs, chicken parmesan, chicken and dumplings. So I'm going to say, that sounds good. How?
But they're partial to us West Indians. Where's the curry chicken?
Okay, let's say, how do I cook curry chicken West Indian style? Here's a recipe for cooking curry chicken West Indian style. 2 pounds of chicken, 2 tablespoons curry powder, tablespoon of salt, half a tablespoon black pepper. It's giving you all the ingredients, and now it's telling you the instructions of what to mix, how to mix it, and how to prepare West Indian style curry chicken from scratch. Isn't this cool? Look at what it'll
When
do.
are you gonna make it, Howard?
Well, I'm not probably going to be making it anytime soon, but I'm just demonstrating. I'm going to what are some fun things to do in Orlando, Florida? So you're going on a vacation, and you want to know what can you do. It's known as a popular destination, and here are 10 fun things to do. Walt Disney World, which of course is the most famous. Universal Studios, that's another famous thing. SeaWorld, those are all very big, famous things to do. Kennedy Space Center is here. It's about an hour and a half from Orlando. The Orlando Science Center, mini golf. You could ask where the courses are. Water parks. There's lots of water parks, and you could ask for them. Gatorland, which looks like a fun place. And let's see, Lake Eola Park. I don't know what that is. I never heard of it, so maybe I'll go there. Then there's a lot of outlets. Lots of really great outlets, and you could use this for travel, for vacation, for how can I learn to swim the crawl? And now it's telling me how to swim the crawl. So this could be a question on sports, on something you want to do, something you want to learn. Another thing you can do with this, I'm just touching the surface. This is just the beginning of what this will do for you and what it's capable of. But you can see that there's enormous potential here for anybody that wants to fully put it to use. It's good for students. It's good for business people. It's good for just being home. You want something to do with your kids, Robin. Ask it for, what's some games I could play with my kids on a rainy afternoon? What I'm going to ask it now is, what is the meaning of life? Okay? And it will give you an answer, by the way. And so it's a philosophical question. There's no one answer. And there's different, some people find it through relationships and love and romance. Some find it through religion. Some find it for personal growth. It's self-improvement. Okay. And you can actually have a conversation with it. Which of these meanings do you think makes the most sense? As an AI, I don't have opinions because I'm an AI model. I'm going to do one more thing. Tell me a joke about a rabbit. Here's a joke. Why did the rabbit go to the barber? Because he needed a haircut. So let's say I'm speaking on... Okay, I'm doing a speed reading workshop. Tell me a joke about speed reading. I need a joke. Here's a joke. Why did the speed reader break up with his girlfriend? Because she couldn't keep up with him and it took her too long to finish her book. So you can create amusing stories, anecdotes, tales. You can find things to do, places to go. You could ask it historical things. You could ask it how to. It'll write copy. It'll create quizzes, exams. If you want to learn to speak a language, you can ask it to help you learn to speak Spanish or French or something like that and have a conversation. There's really no limits to what this will do for you and how it works. So I just wanted to introduce you to this program. You could spend hours. And remember, the best part, it's free. Well, it's mostly free. We were told sometimes it gets extremely busy, and then the only way to get on is if you pay like a $20 and you're a premium member and you get pushed to the top. But I haven't had that happen that often. It happened once. And certainly when you're beginning, you can use the free version and see what it'll do for you. I know, Robin, you have lots of kids. This will help them with book reports. I would not want it to write the book report. What I would do is have it create an outline of a book report, give them the outline, and then write the report from the outline. Because it's always better to write a report from an outline than from scratch. So you're giving them a leg up. Or if they're confused about something, about history, or science, you can go to this program and it'll give you, you can dig down, you can ask more questions. What about, is this possible? And it'll keep going. It's not like you ask one thing and it's done. It builds the conversation you started. But be aware it's not perfect and there are ways to trick it. So like with math, if I said how much is 5 times 5, it would say 5 times 5 is 25. And then my next thing is 5 times 5 is 20. Okay? And then I said, how much is 5 times 5? 5 times 5 is 20. Why is it doing that? Because I told it that's the data that in my world, 5 times 5 is 20. So it sees that. And now it's not looking at 5 times 5. It's seeing I defined it as 20, and it's telling me what I told it. 5 times 5 is 20. So be aware. What you say to it can alter the meaning of a question, because it's working with the data that you're giving it as well. So, and anytime you use something online, you want to be cautious. You never know for certain. I think the reliability from what I saw is very high, but I wouldn't bet my life on it. How's that? If I would look for more validation for something. I wouldn't just assume that what it's saying is absolutely true. I mean, if I'm asking it for 10 things to do in Orlando, it's not like, oh my God, I'm ruining my life. It's like, what medicine should I take? And this is a life and death decision. I probably want a doctor's opinion as well, and not just an AI telling me what it thinks works best. But for the most part, for your day-to-day work, for any of you with websites, and you're writing copy, and you're trying to come up with ideas and things to write about, things to do videos on, it'll create unlimited ideas. And you can just dig deeper and deeper and deeper by asking more and more questions. And you can make the answers longer and more poignant and more detailed as you ask for more. It'll change as you go along. So where I had a privacy statement, and my privacy statement said we don't share data, which is true, but some people do. So then I would say, please let people know that we share data with the following companies for the following purpose. And then they put that in the privacy statement so it's truthful. And it isn't saying I don't share data when I do. I don't. But if I did, I would want to make sure that the statement was accurate. So I'm not... thanks for coming, Chris. I recorded this, so you'll be able to watch the video. Maria, a question?
Yeah, it's a wild one.
Good.
Ask it to press the nuclear button.
I think we got enough lunatics in the world almost ready to do that now. It's really quite disturbing to me where we are in this world today, given where we've been. And you really thought, it was over. I grew up in New York, and during the Cold War, and we used to go under our desk for a nuclear bomb. And I was like, seriously? It's going to be like 500,000 degrees in here. How is this desk going to shelter me from 500,000 degrees and the building turns to dust? What is the desk going to do? And they made me go to the principal because I was upsetting the other kids. But I wasn't wrong. It was stupid. I mean, it's a nuclear bomb. You live in New York, you're dead. That's pretty much that was pretty much it. You live in Brooklyn. If there's a nuclear war, you're going to have to worry about what happens next. It happened. And that's about it. And what you're going to have to worry about. And they would do nuclear bomb trials. The sirens would go off in the street. So we grew up with that. It was pretty scary knowing where we lived. I think the scariest day for me in school was when the Cuban Missile Crisis happened. The U.S. had a blockade around Cuba with ships, and we told Russia, none of your ships can come to Cuba unless we make sure there's no missiles on them. And Russia was sending ships, and they said, don't even think of stopping our ships. And we were like, don't even think of not being stopped. And they're like, you stop our ships, it's over. And we're like, we're stopping your ships. So this was not a happy day for people in Brooklyn. So this was so bad. So they put it on the loudspeaker in the classroom so you could hear if we were going to die. So they're on the loudspeaker. The ships are coming. The ships are near the blockade. The ships are moving towards the blockade. And you're a 12-year-old kid and you're listening to this. And the teacher's freaking out. And every adult in the building is like crying. And then the ships are slowing down. They're slowing down. I repeat, the ships are slowing down. And they're letting them board the ships. I repeat, they're boarding the... Nobody knew what was going to happen. Nobody. All we know was this was the last day of our life. And if these ships got into a fight, they would kill all of us. And that was, for a 12-year-old, that's a lot to have to live with. So now when I look at what's going on, I feel sad because I really thought that this craziness was behind us, but it really isn't. And until nicer people take control of countries, it won't be. But that's my opinion. Anyway, any questions of what I taught tonight? Anyone? Anyone have a comment or opinion or a question? And those who came late, it's all going to be on video, and I'll put it on our video spot. Did a lot tonight. Did
What's that, Howard?
what?
That this chat GI or
Oh, I put it in the chat box. That's the link where you can go to it. And you can sign up for free. It's no charge.
Okay, I got in 5 minutes late.
Oh, it's in the chat box. There's a chat box.
Yeah, I see there's a chat, but it doesn't say that. It just says.
Okay, I'll put it in again. There it is. I see it, but I'll put it in again.
Okay,
Here.
thank you.
Okay.
Also, Chris came in late. Chris is going to do an orientation on Rotary at our next meeting. So maybe, Chris, you can go in and get some ideas. Maybe make your notes from when you took the courses, and then let us know general topics, and we'll put it out because I've invited other clubs and to participate in your presentation. So, but I'd just like to say thank you all for coming in tonight. We've missed you.
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah.
Michael.
Oh, he's a friend of Davin's a friend of mine, and he's interested in joining our club.
Okay, great. But Bob, it was really good to see you. We've missed seeing you, and hopefully
Thank
you
you.
can join in. Are you still in Plano?
Yeah, I'm in Plano right now. Yes, I settled here. And probably will be at least till summer, and then we'll see.
Nice.
Okay.
Does anyone have any questions? Any questions on what I covered or anything? Was it helpful? Did it give you some insights on some things that this will do for you may not have thought about?
I think it's great. With a lot of excitement and insights. You covered very pretty well.
Thank
I think
you.
for people who just start, it's pretty good presentation.
Yeah.
I just put my son, because you reminded me, he asked me yesterday, can you make me, help me to practice with that? And he just sit down and started to play with it. And it's amazing. You speak in any language and create stories. I'm trying to build something with ChatGPT with some engineers right now for schools. So instead of being afraid of it, like people all times afraid of cars. Like when you have horses, the people working these horses, they like, wow, what will we do? We are scared. Like we lose our jobs. We work with horses. Like what would happen to horses and us? The same thing you can think about ChatGPT. You just use it, and humanity moves to the next level.
Yes.
Not worry. The same with like Uber. Learn technology. Don't stay in it. Like many people are afraid of it. Because like they don't know what to do when kids start copying making aspects right now. I helped my daughter to create one because she was late and like give it in 3 minutes I give her like and she like how do you do that? I said there is one, and but then she said I don't like it. It's not personalized. So she spent another 40 minutes redoing it. So what's happened? She learned. She had a structure. So you see like you have a block. But then you may need to art. You don't have a block. It gives you blocks.
Yes.
But then out of blocks you create something more cool, like
Yeah.
you add creativity. So that's why we just learn how to use it.
Yeah.
And I think another example today, I was talking to one developer, a friend of mine. So he uses ChatGPT to create programs. So it's coding for him.
Yes, it does
So now,
coding.
now he's saving time basically, right? For you, instead of him spending also, basically it saves him time because it gives a task if you are more specific, and with time you learn. The same way as Google, many people still don't understand how to use Google like 100%. Like you use Google at 15%, you know what to do. There are so many features. The same as ChatGPT. As you practice and you learn,
You're right.
I mean, there are many things.
Yes,
So,
you're right.
thank you for inviting me today.
Thank you.
Exciting.
You're correct. It does coding. For those of you who do website, it does coding, and it's very good at it. It just has a number of things that you can do. I just wanted to show you a taste of the many things it can do for you. You can actually have an afternoon chat with it. It'll carry on a two-way conversation with you in real time. If you're bored and you need someone to talk to, you got a friend there. You'll talk to the machine. It'll answer your questions. So it's pretty cool. So with that in mind, it's getting late. I'm gonna do the four-way test. I want to thank everyone for coming. Davin, I'm gonna send you some papers for joining the club as well. Our four-way test.
Howard, please send that also to Robin again.
Oh, okay, okay, Robin too. Okay,
Form to Robin.
okay, I could do that.
Also to Bob. We want Bob to join us.
To who?
Bob.
Volodymyr, it's
Oh,
me.
Val, I'm sorry, Val. Do me a favor, Val. I'm gonna give the three of you my email right here. It's in the chat box. Send me your email. It'll be easier for me to just bounce it back to your email. That's what. It's just Mr. Reader at MSN. That's my email. If you send me an email, then I can just attach it and hit return, and it'll go right to you. Mr. Reader at MSN.
I will copy.
And I'll give you my cell phone. This is also my.
I put my also email in the box.
Oh, perfect.
In the chat as well. So
Okay.
I will copy it or I will screenshot it.
And there's my cell phone if you need me for anything. That's my direct line. Thank you all for coming. I'm going to do the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? See you all in 2 weeks. Have a great 2 weeks, and we'll all get back together. Stay healthy. Thank you for coming.
Happy Valentine's.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day.